Good morning, everyone. My name is Rida Shahira, and you guys can call me Miss Rida. Okay. So for today's session, our topic is basically going to be grammar and common mistakes in business English. Okay. Before we start, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think business English is, and how does it differ with English generally?
Business English is English that will be used in the workplace, and it needs to be used in a more professional manner than general English.
Exactly correct. Okay. So what's the difference between speaking or writing professionally, proficiently, and sufficiently? What are the differences? Professionally, proficiently, or the other one, sufficiently. What is English? So as we all know, in Malaysia, English is our official second language, correct? Right? Okay. So why is it important really? For communication? Okay. What is communication to you? Connection between the speaker and the hearer. Okay. Okay. Let me write this sentence and tell me. Okay. I hungry. So this is in English, right? I is a pronoun and hungry is what? A verb? Adjective. Very good. Okay. So if let's say I give you and I speak or I state this kind of sentence, can you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you think this is grammatically correct? No. Why?
Because
What is missing here?
it's missing article.
The be verb, you mean. The be verb. So actually, grammatically, we need to say I am hungry. Correct. But then again, us, we are not native speakers, right? We are what? What do you call ourselves? We have English as a second language, right? Okay. So as second language learners, if I give you this kind of sentence, can you still understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yes? Why?
Because the idea is still
The idea is still there. We still have the subject and we still have the, let's call it the message, right? So, my next question is, if I say this kind of sentence in a professional setting, is it acceptable?
it's not acceptable.
Why?
Because this is an informal way of speaking.
This is an informal way of speaking. Exactly right. Okay. So, business English, as we have discussed before, it is English spoken or written. Usually, in the professional settings, there are only two kinds, spoken and written types of messages. Okay. So, in business English, we need to keep everything professional. Okay, so professional is in formal tone, right? Okay, but then again, that's what I mean. Okay, us as a second language English speaker, of course, we won't have the perfect grammar, we won't have the perfect structure, but if the message gets across, then we are fine. Okay, that is if we are learning English generally. Okay, but right now we want to focus on business English. So everything needs to be formal and everything needs to be grammatically correct. Okay, so why do we need to learn about business English? If let's say you guys could still understand these kind of sentences, so why do we still need to learn about business English? There are actually 3 reasons. The first one is to be professional. Second one, let's think. Let's take a moment and think. There are 2 more main reasons. What are they?
To make it more understandable.
Very good. In other words, to for clarity. Okay, to make it clear, to make our message clear to whoever we are communicating with. Okay, what is the other reason? It's related to clarity as well. To avoid misunderstanding. Very good. Okay, so now we have our 3 main reasons on why today's topic is on grammar and common mistakes in business English. The first one is to keep professionalism, and the second one for clarity, and the third one is to avoid misunderstanding. Why? If let's say we are working in a local company, it matters to keep the professionalism going, but then again, since everyone here in Malaysia, locally we are all second language English speakers, so it doesn't really matter if let's say we are communicating locally, right? But then again, there are certain companies, they are international. So with this kind of people, with these native speakers, then we need to make sure that we be professional. What is the main reason? These 2 other things, they are still important, but not as important as professionalism. So why? If we are communicating with a company abroad, why? Image. Very good. Because we need to make sure that we have our image and we can get their trust. Yes? Okay. So let's move on. So our objective today is to improve your business, but by being professional in written language. Okay, in written English. How? The most important thing is, in writing, we need to avoid common grammar mistakes, okay? Because if let's say they are a company abroad, we would mostly communicate by emailing, right? Okay? We're not really going to talk to them on the phone, we're not really going to meet them in person, because let's be logical. Right now, it's what? It's 11:30 here. Probably they are 11:30 p.m. Right? We're not going to give them a phone call right now. So everything, all business things has to be written in an email. Correct? Okay. So why? We've actually discussed this. Clear professional writing enhances credibility and understanding. Credibility is actually related to trust. Very good. Okay. Now, by the end of this session, I hope you will be able to identify and correct common grammar mistakes, apply accurate grammar in business communication, enhance clarity and professionalism in writing, and the last one is to analyze real-world business documents for errors and improvements. So, the first one, okay, there are a few activities that I've actually prepared for you guys to identify, to apply, to enhance, and to analyze. Okay, I've given you guys all of the papers required, so we're doing it after this. Okay, now you guys have all worked, probably for internships, probably for practical reasons, maybe you have a family business. Have you ever encountered any problems in written English with a customer or a client? Yes? You say yes. Give me an example. What was the problem that you encountered?
I think mostly grammar mistake.
Grammar mistakes. What do you mean?
Like email to some company.
I
Make some mistake. Like
Who did the mistake? You or the company?
Myself.
Oh, right. Okay. What was the context?
Basically, in like a not formal letter.
So what was it? Was it the format? It was just the grammar aspect. Huh? Okay. So they misunderstood you.
Yes.
So what was the context? Can you give us the whole story?
They didn't understand what I said to them, and then it replied in different way.
I see. And then the flow went south, right? Right? So that is actually one of the reasons why, okay, here in Malaysia, usually we do focus on grammar, but then again, Bahasa Malaysia and English, they are both different kind of languages, right? Bahasa Malaysia, we don't really have these kind of things. We don't really have grammar. If you want to say you're hungry, saya lapar. If you want to say I was hungry, tadi saya lapar. It's actually a very direct language, right? But in English, it's actually, okay, English is not actually one of the most difficult languages in the world. It's actually Arabic. And also another language that I can't really think of, right? But we do need to be structured, and we do need to have our basic understanding, our basic knowledge on what grammar is. Okay? So, let's talk about that. Hold on. Right, let's focus on the whiteboard for a while. So, in English, we have something that we call parts of speech. What do you think this is? Clue is the basic thing that you need to understand for English or in English when you learn English. The components, very good. Okay, so the first one, these are all actually called group words. Okay, so the first one would be, we need to understand what nouns are. Okay, and the second one, after nouns usually comes, very good. Third one, related to the nouns, very good, adjectives. Fourth one, related to verbs, adverbs. Okay, these four are the main things. Okay, so what are nouns?
Nouns are words that relate to things.
Very good. Nouns are actually mainly people. And nouns are moving things. Nouns are animals. Okay? So, there are two kinds of nouns. The first one is, who can tell me? First one is proper noun. And the second one is common nouns. Okay, now I would like to ask the Mr. in the middle. What's the differences between proper and common nouns? We also have this in Bahasa Malaysia, by the way. You don't know? Okay, it's okay. I will tell you. Okay, proper noun is in Bahasa we call it kata nama khas. Kata nama khas. Let's say K and K. And common is the other one. What is it, Jeremy? Kata nama khas. And the other one kata nama Very good. Kata nama. So how do we use? Okay. Let's talk about this word here. Television. Which category does it fall under? Kata nama or kata nama khas? Common noun or proper noun? Television. It's a common noun because it is general. Let's say, okay, in English we can twist these proper nouns into proper nouns. How do we do that? Let's focus on this TV. Okay, Mr. Arif. Okay, how do we turn this television, which is a common noun, into a proper noun? Very good. So what is the brand here? New Line. So give me the proper proper noun name for this. Turn it into proper nouns. New Line Television. Very good. Okay. So now we can understand that proper is specific and common is general. Okay. Very good. Now what are verbs? What are verbs?
Verbs are the verb action.
Very good. Verbs are actions. Give me one verb.
Jumping.
Jumping. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Okay. Jump in. Jumping. Can this really be considered as a verb? There are three types of verbs, by the way. Okay, so let's move on to this kind of whiteboard. There are three types. The first one, usually ESL students would call it as V1. The second one, they would call it as V2. And the third one is V3. So V1, we call it as the root word. Okay, meaning the original form. Second one is the past tense. And the third one is the past participle. Okay, now let's go back to the word jumping. Is it really a verb? Think. It's not a good verb. It's some kind of a verb, but not really a good example. Why?
Because it's a verb that has an extra ing.
An extra ing. So what is the root word then?
Jump.
Very good. The root word is jump. So verbs are basically the root word, which is the V1. Verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. Okay, now let's turn jump into the past tense and the past participle tense. So jump becomes
Jump.
spelling.
G-U-M-P-E.
Very good. What about the past participle? Now past participle, this is considered under tenses. Okay, so we have a lot of tenses. We have present tense, we have past tense, we have past participle tense, we have future tense. We have future continuous tense, okay? But past participle is the present continuous tense. Okay, now let's not talk about that right now. So if I want to use jump in a past participle tense, what is the spelling? It will be jumping? Not really. Whenever you see ing, we should always assume that it jumping connected to a verb, we have to always assume that it is in a continuous tense. But then again, this is not in its continuous form. Okay, I will get to that later. Okay, now, so verbs are action. Give me another verb. What am I doing now?
Right.
I am writing. So the root word is write. What am I doing to you now? Training. So the root word is train. Very good. Now let's go to the adjectives. Okay, what are adjectives? Adjectives are actually words that complement the nouns. Okay, it modifies. It gives extra information to the noun. Okay, so give me one example of an adjective. Let's use, okay, my name, Wirda. Okay, is it a proper or is it a common noun? It's a proper noun because it's a specific person, right? Okay, now give one adjective that modify or complement or adds information to Wirda. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Jaiman. That is exactly the answer which I was looking for. Okay. Very good. Okay. Beautiful. For the proper noun Wirda. Okay. Good. Now, let's move on to adverbs. What are adverbs? It has verbs in its name. So, just like adjectives, similar to adjectives, it adds information, it modifies, it clarifies the verbs. So give me one example of adverb, Mr. Jamin. Okay, let's take jump as our verb. Now try to add more information to the word jump. Okay, no. Let's not get jump as our main verb. Let's take run. Quickly, very good. It can be. We can also say write clearly. We can also say, okay, Mr. Jaiman, do you like my handwriting? Yes? Okay, so what can you add to the word write to complement my handwriting? Let's look here, okay? We have quick, we have clear, and both of these words, they end with ly. So, how do we turn adjectives into adverb? We add the ly, very good. So, we can say write beautifully. Very good. Okay. So, adjectives complement noun. Adverbs complement verb. Okay? And how can we differentiate between adjectives and adverbs? The clue is in the ly. Okay? I'm not saying all adverbs end with ly, but most and majority ends with ly. Okay? Now, let's go to tenses. Okay? This is also a part of speech. Now, there are 3 types of main tenses that us as a second English language learner or user need to understand. There are 3. What are they? Present tense, the first one. Past tense, the third one. Continuous and future. Actually, future. Continuous is also important. Okay. Now, these are actually the 4 things that you will mainly and commonly use when you are writing emails. Okay. Because we use present tense to talk about the things that we are doing or the tasks that we are given now. Okay, so we are given a task that you will be doing later in the future. And lastly, continuous is when, if let's say your boss is asking about your report, is asking about your progress, then we have to use continuous tense. Okay? So, how do we differentiate between present, past, future and continuous? Future and continuous, they are very easy. Okay? Let's focus on this one first. If we want to talk about the future, we would say, let's say, right. Progress report. Now, this is our main message, okay? If we want to say that we will be doing this later in the future, what do we have to add here?
Will.
The word will. Very good. Future is usually used with the word will. Okay? This is what we call as a modal verb. Okay? Modal verb, later on I will explain. Okay? What about continuous? Very good. Continuous is when we include ing in our verb. But then again, there is one more thing missing in the continuous tense. This is not the formula. This is partially the partial formula, half of it. But there are another thing that we need to include to state that we are doing that thing. What is it?
Is, are, or.
Very good. The is, the are, and the am. Am is are. Okay. These are what we. This is what we call as be verbs. Okay. So the formula for continuous tense is be verbs plus ing. So let's amend. Let's revise this sentence here. I cannot say writing progress report. I have to say am writing. Or if you are talking about someone else, he is writing. If you are talking about a collaboration between team members, are writing. Because am is specifically for the pronoun I. Is specifically for the singular nouns. And are is for plural nouns. Very good. Okay, so you need to understand. Now, let's go back to this word. Is this word in its continuous tense? No, it is not. Because why? Very good. It is missing its be verbs. Okay, so this is actually what we call as a gerund. Okay. And we actually have two types that modify our verbs. The first one is gerunds and the second one is our infinitive. Okay. Gerunds are when you add ing to the verb. Infinitive is when you add the word to in front of the verb. For example, to jump. This is our infinitive. Jumping. This is our gerund. Okay. Now, you guys need to understand this, okay? Because if you don't use the proper form of the nouns, of the verbs, of the adjectives, of the adverbs, you might misinform whoever that you want to communicate with. Okay? So, let's focus on these four things for today's session. Okay? When or how do we use present tenses? To describe something that maybe you have been given now. Right? How do we use past? When we have done something that has already been Finish. Close. Done. Okay? Very good. Now, I am writing let's say the progress report. This is in our continuous form. Change this into our future form. Very good. I will write the program report. What about past tense? I wrote. This is the basic one. I wrote the progress report. Maybe this kind of sentence you would use it when you want to tell your bosses or you want to tell the higher ups who wrote the progress report. So you say, I wrote the progress report. Right? Okay? Now, what about present tense? Easy. I write the progress report. Something like that. Okay? Now, let's move on to our first activity. I have submitted the report yesterday. Spot the mistakes. What is the mistake? Do you think there's a mistake in sentence number one?
Yes.
Yes? Where?
It should be past tense.
Where? Which one?
Submit.
Very good. So change the sentence into the correct sentence. I had submitted the report yesterday. Now, let's talk about that, Mr. Arif. I had sorry. What did you say? I had report?
Submit.
I had submitted. You report yesterday. What kind of tense is this sentence in?
Past perfect tense.
Very good. Why is it in past perfect tense? This is not actually in past tense. This is actually in past perfect tense. Why? What's the clue?
Had.
Very good. The word had. Okay? There are actually two more tenses. There are a lot of tenses actually. Okay? But the main ones are present, past, future, continuous. There are another two that you might use. Actually, we do use it quite often. Okay? The first one is present perfect. And the second one is past perfect. Now, how do we differentiate? What is the formula for these two tenses?
The usage of have or had.
Very good. Now, we have two types of helping verbs, okay, for these kind of things. We have has and have. Okay? Now, has and have are actually in their present form. So, it is used with present perfect. So, the formula for present perfect is has or have plus past participle. Do you guys remember the V3? Yes? So, this is it. Okay? And when we want to use past perfect, we change the has to have into its past tense, which is
Had.
had. Very good. What's the difference between has and have, and how do we know when to use it? Has is for singular, have is for plural. Okay? Now, right now, we have three tenses that we need to discuss over. Okay? We have our present perfect, we have our past perfect, and we have our past tense. in writing, how do we know which to use? What's the difference between, let me just erase this first. I had submitted the report yesterday. I have submitted the report yesterday. I submitted the report yesterday. What are the differences between these three sentences?